So let's compare Travis's energy to my energy in the morning. You tell me who's who.
Getting it.
I just want my coffee.
Yeah. So we left our super amazing anniversary location and hit the road again. Along the way, we came across a town by the name of San Ignacio, which turned out to be an actual oasis. I had never seen one before, and nor had Sam.
Look at where we're camping for the night.
Like I was saying about the missionaries, they came into Baja and then slowly worked their way all the way up to San Francisco, actually, stopping anywhere that there was water. As you can see, an oasis was definitely a suitable location to launch from. This place was known as Cochimi Oasis of Catacaman. It proved to be a highly productive agricultural site and served as a base for later Jesuit expansion in the Central Peninsula. And actually, the surviving church as we see it today was constructed by the Dominican missionaries in 1786. This was all following the expulsion of the Jesuits, as I once mentioned. Good times here in Mexico.
So we left San Ignacio and headed towards Santa Rosalia. We had some things that we needed to take care of there, and we were a little bit reluctant to do so from listening to advice from our family and friends, but we went for it to see what we could get. We just booked dentist appointments in Mexico. Yep, we're gonna get our teeth done. I'm gonna get a root canal today. I booked it same day, 6 o'clock.
Thank you, Dr. Telles.
Your husband can't see it, you don't have a car. It's a SUR.
I had my dental work done, and man, was I relieved. My bill that was supposed to be in the U.S. was around $3,700 with dental insurance. But getting work done in Mexico, in Baja California, saved me so much. More than an arm and a leg. An arm, leg, and then another leg, probably. It cost me $135 US to get a root canal done.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
My endodontist, the man who performed a root canal on me, spoke English. He was very kind, and he even left us with a ghost story.
Si van para Cabo San Lucas, pasando Loreto, hay un pueblo que se llama Ligüí. Adelantito empiezan unas curvas bastante feas. Ahí dicen que en la noche se aparece una mujer. Si vas en tu carro, preferentemente hombre solo, volteas al retrovisor y ya la traes sentada atrás. Ese es un mito que dicen que todas las noches se aparece una mujer que ahí atropellaron, ahí mataron. Entonces, pero casi por lo regular solo a los hombres. Si van solos en su carro, ya nomás de repente la ves y ya volteas al retrovisor y ya la traes sentada atrás en tu asiento.
Qué miedo. Ooga booga booga. Back on the road and now headed to the promised location of Loreto. But first, time for lunch.
We were getting road weary, so you have no idea how badly we needed that restaurant.
Hey, what you doing in here with the painting from southern Indiana? Hey, what the hell's up with that anyway?
So, as to not get too far off track, we left Guerrero Negro to San Ignacio and then Santa Rosalia, then to Loreto. From Loreto to La Paz, then Todos Santos to Los Cabos.
But let's rewind a bit and get back to Loreto. Coming from Santa Rosalia, we got a chance to behold the azure beauty of the Gulf of California for the first time. Then we made it to Loreto, just in time to meet this legend. All right, so here I am at the RV park, and I've met a man that definitely puts American rugged individualism to shame. My man, Fabian.
Hello.
Here he is with his bike. This thing's a beast. I showed up and I honestly thought it was an antique that was just on display. But tell me, where are you coming from?
I'm from Switzerland. I travel all over the world, and now we are in the Baja, Mexico. I drove all the way from Switzerland east till Southeast Asia, from Indonesia to Uruguay, South America.
And then he came on up to Baja just to meet Sam and I. But not without going to the tip of Argentina first, all the way up, then dropping by Cuba, getting stuck in Costa Rica, and then all the way over to meet us, finally. He didn't mention that part because he's really quite modest, actually, and a little bit camera shy.
Yeah.
But he became our friend. The first friend that I had that rode a diesel bike, no less.
It's pretty reliable, and yeah, it's something different. Maybe I want to show it. You can do it on a very simple technology. There is actually, I just have a waterproof pack on the back and a small tank pack. That's it.
Any advice for anybody sitting at home and planning and trying to make this thing happen for themselves?
Make it happen. Just make the step and go out in the world and travel, yeah, as long as you can.
Day 3 in Loreto here. I got myself a tres leche
paleta de tres leche. Travis just dropped his, but he got one too.
Shut up!
As promised, we arrived to Loreto, our first RV park to pitch our tent and stay at for 1 week. The town had an old charm to it. Not too big, not too small, and even better, not many tourists. Unfortunately, the beach was closed, something we found out after setting ourselves up for the afternoon and then being kindly asked to go on our way by the police. Not a problem though. The town center had some cool artwork and we got to explore the church that had been standing there since 1752. As Travis mentioned in the last episode, California's first successful mission was founded here. Loreto is known as the head and mother of all missions in Upper and Lower California. In 1877, the bell tower was unfortunately destroyed by an earthquake. The replacement was added in the mid-1950s and now proudly stands overlooking the old town from behind the Palacio Municipal de Loreto.
And just like that, Fabian was returning to La Paz. The end of his journey had come. The border to the States had been closed. As for us, we took off the following day. T. Lawrence, also known as Lawrence of Arabia, once wrote that the desert is an ocean in which no oar has dipped. Up to this point, the majority of the time we have been crossing desert. As inhospitable as a desert may be, and as much as Mexico gets a bad rap in the States, calling Baja dangerous has not been our experience. Baja may not be an island as Cortez once thought, but it certainly feels like one. The Baja vibe is definitely just that. If you stop in the desert to have a drink from your jug, or just to stretch, you'll have multiple residents and other bikers stop to make sure you are okay. The people's hospitality is just as piercing as the blue sea crashing against the desert beaches. Heading down the peninsula / would-be island, it is impossible not to take notice.
Escalador que sube a la cumbre y mira hacia abajo el camino que no es. Paso a paso incierto ya no se ve, solo la memoria me dice cómo fue. He parado en lo alto para respirar. Un último salto no es fácil de dar. Si ahora me distraigo, no lo alcanzaré.
This is our hotel room, and this is our room. It's room number 7. I hope you can see that. It's on the sticker. The lock. This is our latch. We have beds, ceiling. That's Travis's workstation. Here was the bathroom door. And here's inside of our bathroom. That's Mexico.
Me dice cómo fue. He parado en lo alto para respirar. Un último salto no es fácil de dar.
Ya nos vamos. Mi esposa les deja con la llave. Ok, adiós, gracias.
Estoy decidido y continuaré. Mi alma Miranda cuando te encontré. Vida en la cima, refugio en la nieve. Hoguera que sientes cuando el frío viene. presiento oscuridad. Vida, mi vida, gloria terrenal, mi alma. Miranda. Digno parador de un hombre cansado, me eleva en sus manos a un lecho de amor. Gota a gota el agua sirve a mi sed. Ahora soy mendigo tendido a sus pies.
So we came here to see some whales. We were hoping to see some whales, otherwise known as ballenas in Mexico, out here. But unfortunately, we've been out here for over an hour and we've seen nothing.
Mujer tan hermosa, mujer de verdad. Aunque haya nacido milenios después, no quedan fronteras y voy donde esté. Mi alma Miranda, cuando te encontré, vida en la cima, refugio en la nieve, hoguera que sientes cuando el frío viene. Mi alma Miranda, tiemblo si te vas, cuando no estás cerca presiento oscuridad. Vida, mi vida, gloria terrenal, mi alma Miranda.
Travis and I are here in San Jose. We came to a local market. Right next to the market is a place to have lunch. Hey everyone. I just left Travis so he could do his drone shot. Meanwhile, I can go shopping.
Cha, bro, come from SoCal down to Cabo, bro, ham. Cha, me and my SoCal bros, come on down to Cabo. Cabo, San Jose, down in Cabo. Yeah, SoCal bros in Cabo, bro. Before getting to the history bit, it's worth noting the place we stayed. This was our first time on this trip that we got to go into a Mexican home. We had a separate bed, but before we entered the separate bed, we got to go into the family's home, sit down with them, and have an hour or two long conversation. We got so close to the family that the woman of the household ended up buying my vitamins from me.
Okay. Emiliano.
All right, now it's time for some history. The mission was established on April 8, 1730 by Jesuit priests Sebastián Cisnega and later Nicolás Tamaral. The latter, Tamaral, ended up becoming a martyr. Before we go there though, going back to the history of the colonization of Baja California would serve us well. The broader pattern of Spain's North American strategy could be summed up cynically, but not inaccurately, as three primary drivers: gold, glory, and God. Spain's entire imperial system was designed to funnel money back to the royal treasury. This resulted in a highly mercantilist, highly bureaucratic state, antagonistic to individual initiative. However, the crown knew that in order to grow its tax base, the colonies needed to prosper and fill its ginormous blank spaces on the map, especially in view of the threat of Russian and English encroachment in California. The going wisdom of the time held that one family was worth 100 soldiers. The frontier, however, was a dangerous place, something that our friend Nicolás Tamaral found out the hard way. For protection, the Spanish army, the purveyors of Spanish glory, were sent to protect the first Jesuit missionaries in Baja. Keep in mind, Spain's military prestige was tied up in a contest between other European powers at the time. The military's charge to protect the missionaries was a glory-less endeavor. And it's not like the missionaries were exactly smitten with their escorts either. It's easy to see how pairing up our modern-day Marine Corps with our Peace Corps and sending them off into the wilderness may result in a mutual resentment toward one another. So the complex reality in the Spanish colonial system is that the term is more of a blanket statement than anything. To describe it as a single coherent system, one would have to consider it as more the product of different groups in Spanish society vying for power, each with their own set of priorities. The dueling priorities of the Jesuits with Spanish soldiers first tried to colonize California in 1683. They failed until Loreto was standing in 1697. From there, they headed both north and south, establishing missions and creating what is known as the Camino Real. So, going back to the mission at San Jose del Cabo, the indigenous Pericus already had grown annoyed with the missionaries forbidding more than 2 wives. Later in 1734, the Pericu revolt broke out over one native cacique leader who had been harshly punished for kidnapping a young woman. The Pericu took their vengeance on Tamaral and in neighbor Santiago, killing another religious leader named Padre Carranco. So there you have it. Travis promised you martyrs, and I delivered martyrs. Hasta pronto.